All right, everyone. So we are back for another game cast. And this is a very special one. I haven't done a professional game casting or professional game casting it as of lately, and I decided, you know what, since we are in the transition of me going from the Just Go program to another program, and I'm still recording, in the process of recording before I upload, I figured that why not share with you guys some interesting matches as of right now that's happening in the Go world. And I do want to kind of showcase each country or each major tournament event that's been happening within the last several months. And so the most recent one that we are going to be looking at is the 80th Honinbo Title Series match. Now, this is still going on. It's still going on, but we have none other than Ichiriki Ryo. Now, if I'm mispronouncing that name, I totally apologize. But as you guys know, Ichiriki Ryo had made a huge accomplishment this past year, winning the In Cup for Japan in a very long time. Like it is like the biggest thing that Japan has done in the world of Go, winning a world title match. And so he's back and he's gonna go after the Honinbo title. Now, his opponent, playing as the Blackstone, is Shibano Toramaru. And from my research, I could be wrong, but from my research, he is currently the Judan title holder. Now, if you guys have watched Hikaru no Go, you will recognize these names: Honinbo, Judan, I think there's some other, Ozai. These are major Japanese titles in the Go world, and so this is a very like extreme caliber match, and so I can't wait to get started. So anyways, without further ado, let's get started. We have some basic opening. We do see for our black player right here, we have a wall being built, looking in the direction of building this big moyo on the right hand side of the corner, and we do have a double approach in the bottom left hand corner for black, approaching white's only corner. And as you guys know, when you guys are double approach, you're gonna need to contact certain stones. Again, contact stones when you guys are weak, not when you are strong. If you're weak, contact, make yourself stronger, make your opponents over concentrated. It's all about efficiency, especially in the openings. But these guys are 9 down professional players. They hold titles. They know this very well. And so what we have right here is this lone stone, which is being approached by double high pincer, needs to make a base. He's going to get kicked off, and then most likely he's going to jump out or do a contact move. Either one would be fine, but most likely if you get kicked, you're going to stand, jump out. Now, this standing is actually a very nice type of stand, because it does look at the cut right here. If black decides to push, white decides to block, we can separate the two white groups. So white does not want that to happen and is forced to seal up. Now, you could play the bamboo joint here, but the bamboo joint doesn't take up a liberty from the black stones over here. So later on, white is going to be looking at cutting at the C7 position right now, getting ready to start that cut, but it's going to approach first. Black is going to defend, white's part going to kick up and then build the left hand side. Now, black is like, you know what, if you're gonna cut that stone, that's fine. That's 2 stones. I want your moil. I know what you're doing. You're building your left side. I'm gonna be taking it. White's like, you know what, we're gonna trade. Right, we're gonna trade. You Shibano, you're black, you're gonna take the top side of the board. I'm gonna take my moyo. I want this left hand side of the board right here. We're gonna play just like, I'm gonna play a 3 stone up, just like what you did on the other end, and you're just gonna have to deal with it. You know, you're gonna dagger down. That's fine. You know, play on the second move. Now it is my sente move. Now, if I was white, look at the big points. Well, you got to cut right here. You can build up the moil, but black also has this nice big moil right here. So maybe a disruption. We do have a white stone right here that's all alone on the M4 position. But hold the phone. We're going to take a look at this clamp right here because white is looking to really take over the whole entire left side of the board. We can see with the Atari right here coming up imminently, E7, this the whole black group right here is most likely all and done for. Now, with that being said, black is like, you know what, if you're going to trade me this position right here, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start taking this position. And again, all about conversation, all about asking your opponent, what is it that you want to do? Do you want to take the left side of the board? If you do, can you trade the right side of the board with me? And this is the problem with a lot of weaker players such as myself, is that we don't understand conversation too well. As you guys can see on the bottom side of the screen, I'm listing myself as a 7Q. I truly don't know what my rank is. It's probably roughly between 4 to 6Q, but 7Q is my OGS rank, as at least as of the time of recording this, so I'm going to keep it as 7Q. But the big thing about it is you got to ask yourself, what is the conversation? What is it that we're trying to do? And what are the big point moves? Remember, the game of Go is the surrounding game, not the I'm going to kill everything game. And so the more that we're able to kind of visually see this globally, the better off we will be as we are playing with other stronger opponents. But right now, what we do see is a nice squeeze coming from Shibano. Shibano was coming from our Blackstone player, and we do see the stick being formed right here for Ichiriki. Now, to kind of prevent and alleviate the thinness of that, we're going to cap on the top right here. We're going to Hane on the top. You're just going to turn, and then we're most likely going to jump out or also do another Hane right here. If we do another Hane, what we can see is this Atari coming up, allowing white to escape, but if black extends, then we're just gonna go back down and putting a lot of pressure on these three stones. Now, black doesn't want to do any cuts or anything like that, so white's gonna fix his shape. It's gonna do the reverse tiger's mouth. If black pushes, white has the next move right here on H9, or having a double tiger's mouth out in the open, out in the center. Really well done. Now, black see that we do have the nice bowl shape right here. This is the bowl of influence, as I would like to call it. And if you can see the direction that the bowl is facing, we know that white wants to build a moil here. So to disrupt that, black is going to approach very cautiously. Again, we're looking at the boundary line right here. We're looking at the boundary line, and we can see that black is playing directly on that boundary line, or the line of influence, not overstepping the boundary, but just touching it so that we can kind of maneuver around and reduce white. That is what black's plan is. Reduce white, create a living group, and potentially disrupt the bowl of influence. Now, if white wants to, white can peep right here. This is the weakness to this shape. We can peep, but white's going to take a sente move first, because the turn here is really powerful in regards to just disrupting black's shape. And we're gonna see that right now. And it's like, you know what, white's gonna be like, I'm gonna keep pushing you. I'm gonna keep pushing you. I want center influence. I'm gonna push you along. 3 in a row is not enough. You gotta go one more, right? You gotta go one more, and then I can Hane. Now, black is like, you know what, I'm feeling pretty confident. I feel like I can survive here. I am completely surrounded for the most part, right? There's still a slide right here that black can do to kind of get out of the way, but there's a lot of wiggle room. There's a lot of breathing room right there. Black doesn't need to respond to just yet. We do have a weakness in the shape right here, which is the H5 position, but right now black is like, you know what, I have a weak group. I know that I have a double peep coming up. I'm going to protect my cuts. I'm going to protect my peeps, and I'm going to make my group even stronger. And white's like, you know, you can try. I think that's okay. I mean, you can cut me next turn. That's fine, but I'm going to Hane you. I'm going to tar you, and then I'm going to get out. And so white's like, you know what? I'm going to fill it up. I don't want to deal with that Aji. Gonna fill it up. Now you are completely surrounded by nice white walls. What are you gonna do? Where's your two eyes? I don't know what you're gonna do. And as you're trying to escape, I'm gonna start pressing your nice group over here and take your corner, if anything. And Black's like, you know what? You're not gonna happen. I'm gonna just peep right here. I'm gonna escape and you're gonna let me out. And White's like, nope, build that wall. Surround again, surround. But guys, take a look really quickly what's happening right now. As White is attacking our black stones over here, Black now has to worry about staying alive. If Black loses the center group, look at how much territory White has. This is almost 1/4 of the board already, with only 6 or like 10, 15 stones. That is hyper efficient. Now, the problem here is that Black isn't going to try to let White take it. Black's going to try to live. Black's going to move. White's going to be pressing its advantage on Black. But as White is pressing that advantage, you can see the wall of doom facing Black's moil over here. So this wall is gearing up for an invasion very soon in here, separating these 3 black stones. It would not surprise me if Ichiriki Ryo is aiming for that. That is a huge wall of influence right there. The boundary line is right here for Black. It is fairly far apart, but a white stone plopped right here on the 017 is going to allow White to build extremely well, allow the invasion to happen, and really put a lot of pressure on the black stones here. And so I'm keeping an eye on that. I have a feeling, I haven't seen the game, but I have a feeling that that is White's plan very, very soon. Not only pressing in the corner right here, but also forcing Black to make that decision. Now, Black is going to kind of seep out, leak out into this region over here. And that's fair enough, you know, but as Black is, you know, coming out, again, there's 2 eyes. You know, I don't see 2 eyes, maybe 1 eye in here, but the second eye is very, very questionable. And as White is chasing Black out, you can see, like I said, the 017, the 012, is it 012 or 012 move? Sorry, my apologies. That 012 move that I was predicting earlier is looking very, very attractive. We are approaching that invasion point very soon, and we're just going to start surrounding. Now, Black is going to try to separate the white group, but again, we are in direct line of sight. 2-space jump from a 1-space that it's connected. I mean, Black doesn't really have to do much, but right here is a very interesting move because White can now push and cut. It's a Knight's move. Push, cut, cause a lot of Aji. And you know, what's gonna happen? Black is now fully surrounded. So the question is this enough for White? Remember, White can still jump in through here, reducing Black's territory. White can still jump in here, reducing Black's territory. And you know, White is already alive in this corner. Even if Black reduces, White can just hop in anytime White wants. And so right now, I'm really feeling White is in a very, very comfortable position. Yes, these 5 stones right here are in a little bit of a dire situation, but again, a lot of peeps, that double peep, again, you have a lot of Ataris. I don't see White being in too much trouble, especially with the double peep coming up. The double peep right here is you know, I cannot see this group for White in a heavy danger at all. Like, for me, it just doesn't seem like it. Anyways, so as we are paying attention to this little bit of a skirmish right here, I just want to take a moment just to say, you know, guys, thank you so much for again tuning in to the Memorial Day extravaganza. We had a very fun time. and it kind of ignited my casting thing again. I really did miss casting, and so I was like, you know what, let's just do a little bit more since I haven't done it in a while. And as I am preparing to kind of do a little bit more recording with the different AI programs right now, I did been having a little bit of a snag, but I think overall we are almost there, and so I can't wait to share it with you guys. But let's go back to the game right now, because the game is looking a little dicey for this stick that is completely surrounded by the black stones. And so what do we have right here? We do have a separation. Again, the black group has been cut, but now it is to the point where we are in a little bit of a liberty race right here. But the problem right here is right here. If we Atari, right? Black and fill, and we surround, or we cut, right? One of those is gonna be needed. Excuse me, guys. My cat wants in, so be right back. All right, my cat's back in. And what is happening in the game? Oh my gosh. Now we got black trying to seep out right here, but white has to keep lookout right here. Maybe a honey right here. Yes, a honey does come in. The cut isn't going to do much with this black stone. Now black is going to make an empty triangle going all the way down, but white just needs to follow him all the way down. Again, is this an issue right now? Is this an issue? Black can sacrifice... Like, white can sacrifice these two stones. White doesn't need to. Again, it gives black an extra move. But one move here, this black group is completely surrounded. And 1, 2, 3, 4 to 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Black's going to go in for the ko. Black's going to go in for the ko. 1, 2, 3. If white fills, 1, 2, 3, yep. So black's gonna go for it. Black has to at this point, right? If, yep, white's gonna take it. And so now we are in a predicament for the black player. What are the big co-threats? There isn't really any. I really don't see a humongous co-threat. Yes, maybe this is a co-threat, try to escape, but overall everything is already set. I don't see it doing much more. And so let me try to fix this right here. Is this fixed? Nope. You know, I don't like it how OGS changes the size of their map. It's really annoying, especially when I'm casting. Sorry guys, technical difficulties. I wish they just kept it the same. But anyways, so we are looking into a liberty race right here, but it's looking like black is in trouble or white's in trouble. Right? Atari what just happened? I thought white had it. I thought white had that. Did white lose the whole center? Oh my gosh. Did white really lose that whole entire center? Right? White's in Atari right now. Oh my gosh. White's in Atari. So, wait. OGS, why did you distract me? What happened? What happened? That... What? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is 22 points that black has gained, right? Surrounding, splitting white's group up. It's 22 points. Okay, okay, okay. Oh my gosh, that is a huge blunder. Now the question is, can white come back in? I don't think so. Black is now strong everywhere. Now black mindful, right? Being very mindful, black does have to watch out for a shortage of liberties, especially with this group right here. But it looks to be that black, as long as black can just keep white limited, these 22 something points is giving black a big lead. Now white did capture the corner over here. This corner's dead, so that's about 15 points. This corner is about 15 points, so these two corners is equal to the loss right here. Okay, that's fine. We have black's big humongous moil. White's probably going to come in and invade it very soon, but we do have that big moil. White comes in and invades. Okay, but the question is, where is white's big territory? Like, say that black gets this, where's white's other one? Maybe right here. This is white's, yeah, or this is all white's here, right here, yeah. But this with this, I think these two for black is equal to this for white, right? Oh my gosh, wow, wow. This match, guys, this match is just a back and forth. And now we do see white trying to come in and tackle in a living group within black's big moil, and black is like, you know what, I don't know what to do right now. I have a living group, it's not dead, you are dead. And what is going on? How is it that Ichiriki Rio, how is it that our white player is so calm? It's like, you know what, I'm okay with this loss. I've had a lot of my forcing move. I played all my forcing move right here. Now you're gonna have to find a way to kind of stop me from living in this corner. Now I have a wall facing out and in, and we're just gonna start building. We're gonna start moving around. Now it's looking very dicey for this white group, but remember, there's a lot of shape issues right here for black, and we do have a very strong white group on the outside of that. So eventually what's going to happen is that white is going to start pinching out all these black stones. There's a lot of cuts, there's a lot of knight's move, a lot of cuts right here. You know, even white just hitting right here is somewhat irritating, right? There's just so many moves. Now we could see the stick of doom being formed again, and it looks like white can push and then maybe cut, maybe, I don't know, but we do see white trying to do something. And right now, as white is trying to do something, this white group is also getting more and more damage because the strength of black's wall right here in the center is just getting so strong. And now black is like pushing. It's like, you know what, I'm gonna go back home, I'm gonna go back to my group, I'm gonna keep it safe, you're gonna stay limited, you're gonna stay split, and we're just gonna go from there. And you know, it's just, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? That is insane. That is crazy. Oh my gosh. And so as black is now poking out eye potential, right? This is poking out all the eye potential for white. We do see a potential eye, maybe this looks like a false eye right here, if I'm being honest, right? This is a false eye. Okay, if white is able to capture these two black stones, that's a true eye. Okay, black's gonna bend right here, white's gonna pillar down. No, okay, so white's gonna take the one eye, definitely take the one eye, right? Yep, gonna take the one eye, put pressure on these four black stones, because again, these four black stones are now in trouble. Black needs to find a way to connect back up to his group, and he can't. Now he's going to start pushing through and start putting a lot of pressure on these 5 stones over here. But I don't know if he has the liberties to do it. Now, again, yeah, I'm not too sure about this. Black is gonna extend, but white just needs to pillar down, right? White just needs to pillar down. Okay. Black probably is gonna push here, but black's now gonna extend. White decides to cap. Black is going to extend. White is going to maybe hunt it or just keep black alive on the first line, second line, right? Second line territory. So white's saying that I'm going to let you live small. Okay. And what are we going from here? Where are we going? This is, I would love to see a move. Oh my gosh. So guys, this is a very confusing game now. I'm lost. I'm totally lost as to who's winning and who's losing. And this is the one big thing about professional games, right? Every time I cast a professional games, they're doing something like this. They can see their groups, clearly see how many liberties are left, how many points they are currently having, and they're always leaving groups unfinished. In my opinion, they'll just leave a group unfinished to attack a bigger move on the board. Again, it's for the efficiency of it. And so they know that if their opponent decides to attack said group, say that, you know, this corner over here, say that white decides to take again, well, black knows that these 2 stones plus these 3 stones are around 10 points plus another 5 points. So this is a 15-point capture. Now if black is able to play there, it has to be a move that's worth more than 15 points or less than 50 points elsewhere on the board. Like, so black is going to look at all the move potential everywhere else. If it's not worth 15 points, black will come back and defend. And this is what I've been seeing a lot in the professional games, is that they will calculate how much their groups are worth. And so what is happening right here is that white has successfully won. Okay, so before I click it, it's done. So white was the last move, and I believe black resigned. But I am confused as to why black is resigning, because look at black captured this whole white group over here, right? So is this white group enough for black to say that I've won this game? And now I'm gonna click the estimate. Write down in the chat below right now. Write it down. What is your guess as to the points that Ichiriki has versus Shibano? Now, Shibano has 2 captures. I know it's kind of cut off right here. And Ichiriki has 1. But the board position is the exact... Like, I can't tell. I mean, I guess white could still play over here to capture. But let's take a look. All right, so moment of truth. Hopefully you guys write down your guesses, but estimated score value is... Wow. White wins by a total of 28.3 points. 28.5 points is white's victory. Even with that huge loss in the center, that blows my mind. That completely blows my mind. I had no clue. I had no clue that white was ahead by that much. That's insane. I mean, just losing all of this, and the big lesson that I want to say, guys, in this game is that even if you lose one of your biggest pieces like this, as a Q player, I would have resigned already, losing this huge bit. I would have resigned. Hands down. I would have thought I've lost the game and there's no way. But if you guys take a look at what happened. White lost 22 points, but white also, during that loss, forced black to capture, right? And white created a nice solid surround on that black group. So white's thing is like, you know what? Capture my 22 points. Go ahead. I want you to capture it, but I'm going to build a nice circumference around your group, gathering that big influence, and I believe that influence is worth more than 30 points. Right? It's going to be worth more than 30 points. And look what happened. White captured this right here, right? That corner plus this corner. Now, these are huge corners. They are greater than 15 points. Both corners, just those two corners alone. And those two corners alone equates to black's capture right here. Now, all white has to do is making sure that black doesn't get anything else. Again, white has this, which is a big chunk. Black has this, which is kind of equal, if you want to really look about it. And that's it. And so white surviving in black's big moil was that game-ending move. That was game-ending, because at that point, white's like, you know, we're pretty much even everywhere else except here. This is your win condition. I just took it away from you. And so, guys, that is the first match of the Honinbo title match, best of 5. This is game number 1. And we've only had 2 games played this year. I believe game number 2 will be next. I believe it just finished just recently. 3, 4, and 5 will be played within the next several weeks and months, and I will be casting this as we go. So thank you guys again so much for watching, and until next time, I hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. I will try to find another program other than OGS, because I'm getting quite irritated with OGS kind of shifting back and forth. But Ichiriki Ryo, congratulations on your first game match. And until next time, on to game number 2. Take care, everybody.